guys, it's Kat and I'm back today to do a quick sort of video talking about what I use to sort of alter my foundations, and there's a new product that I was sent the other week. I've been using one of them quite a lot in the past week or so, and I have a feeling that it's going to be in my April favorites. So I thought before I get there, I want to kind of review the product. So the product is by Ulta 3, which is I think it's an Australian brand. All right, so it says that it's designed in Australia, so it's not made in Australia, I would presume. But if you're familiar with Ulta 3, it's a brand that is in a lot of pharmacies. I think it's in Big W, and they're very well known for their super cheap nail polishes. I think they're like $2 nail polishes of all different colors and whatnot, and they're really, really affordable. So they've been bringing out sort of like more customizable makeup recently, and these are two things that they've brought out. So these are the Lightening Shade Adjusting Drops and the Darkening. They also brought out, and I'll put a photo on the screen of all the different shades, but they brought out eyeshadows and face products that you can put in your own custom palette. So I haven't really used these too much. The custom palette I think is $6.95, and then the eyeshadows are $2.95 and the cheek products are $3.95. So super, super affordable, and you can fit 2 eyeshadows and 2 sort of face products or 6 eyeshadows. So these are kind of cool, and I have played around with them, but I haven't used them enough to sort of review them. But I do want to say that for the price of like $2.95, these like eyeshadows aren't the best eyeshadows in the world, but they're not bad. So I've been jumping on the sort of customizable makeup bandwagon, and the things that sort of I usually think that these type of products are quite gimmicky, but I think these ones are, for the price, which I think is $9.95, they're really good. I've been using these a lot with my current foundation because I'm getting a little bit fairer. The weather's been really cold, and then if you want to deepen your foundation, the darkening ones are very good as well. So I'm going to sort of demonstrate them sort of just like on my hand. So I have seen a lot of these sort of color adjusting products come on the market, and I have tried a couple, and a lot of them do water down your foundation, and so it changes the consistency, which I don't like. Also, there's a problem with these because the biggest problem with these is that they really only work for people that have sort of like light to tan skin, and then just slightly adjusting your shade a little bit. So these, you know, if you have very, very, very deep skin, and you want to turn your generic drugstore shade that isn't dark enough for your skin into a dark shade, this is not going to do it. It's quite deep. This isn't deep enough to like make drugstore foundations deep, unfortunately. It is sort of more designed to give the people with beige skin, which is more like me, sort of like adjusting it for their summer shade versus their winter shade. So this isn't perfect, and I would like to see a brand bring out sort of like yellow toned ones, red based ones, really dark ones, and then also the same with these lightening ones. This one's got a bit of a pink tint, which I do like, because I think generally the fairer you sort of go, the pinker your skin generally is. But I would have liked to have seen some that are also quite yellow toned as well. So, you know, with different undertones, these will work or they won't. But this sort of just slightly off-white pink works really well at lightening my particular foundations that I use. And since this one is almost white, this would be good at really lightening for very, very fair people that struggle to find light enough foundations. This would help a lot, but once again, it's pretty much one undertone. You also need various undertones, neutral, probably more pink, maybe a true white, maybe a yellow. So, you know, it's not going to be perfect, but it will help. And I don't know if you can see, but these do have quite a lot of pigment. That's already set. Whoa, that's pretty good. So these are quite thick, and they do have quite a lot of pigment in them. So what I love about these personally, for my personal like use, is that these don't disrupt the texture of your foundation. It's sort of like a maybe thicker than foundation texture, or similar to foundation texture. And what's good about that is that you can put like a drop in, it will make sort of a big change to your foundation color, but it won't change the consistency. And because they do set, and they're not particularly matte, they're not particularly dewy, they're just like a setting kind of pigment, they don't really disrupt the formula or the finish of your foundation as well. So I think these are actually really good for the price. Now I sort of wanted to demonstrate this a little bit. What I'm wearing on my face is a product that I'm trying to pan. So this is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Foundation in Soft Beige. So this is, you know, the foundation I'm currently wearing, and for me it sort of matches until it gets to the neck, and then the neck is quite fair, so I tend to, like, it matches my face but not my neck. So using a drop, so I usually use a couple of pumps of this and I'll use 2 drops, but this amount I might only use like 1 drop. It really does, you can see, so I'll show you the color. Look, let's mix it together to show you the color that it creates. So that's the color I've created there, and that's the original color. So you can see that it just takes the foundation down sort of just one level, which is really handy. So you can go from sort of like your, I don't know, autumn, summer shade to winter very, very easily. So I really like this one. I'm going to give you another example with the darkening ones. I haven't been using them much because I don't need them at the moment, but they would be really good for summer. One foundation that is sort of perfect for me at the moment but is too light for me in summer is this Lancome one. So I'll do 2 pumps and I'll just do 1 drop on one of them. And that's the difference. So that's adding 1 pump of the darkening drops. You can see that it definitely took it up a few shades, but you'd just change the proportion. So that was 1 pump with 1 drop. If you didn't want it that dark, you'd do like 2 pumps with 1 drop, or, you know, whatever. But you can see it creates a really natural, really effective way at altering your foundation. So I'm really digging these. I think they're really, really good. And I think for the, like, from what I've tried with other ones, they generally, yeah, water down the foundations, change the consistency, but these really don't. Now, I am going to give you a little tip as well. One product that I have been using for a couple of years to do this before I came across these drops were actually concealers, because concealers, once again, are very, very thick. You can get different undertones. So the ones that I particularly like are the Maybelline Master Conceal. So this one is 10 Fair, it's the fairest one, and it does a similar thing. It's not as white as the Lightening drops, but you can see that it is quite thick, very pigmented, and very, very light. So they do the same thing, just a little squeeze of this into your foundation, it will lighten it. I've been doing this, I think this is my 2nd tube of it, and I've got a backup because I love using this method so much. And then this is a darker one. This is in the shade 50 Medium Deep. And once again, this for just sort of like your light to medium skin tone people would definitely add some nice tan color, but it's not as dark as a darkening drop. So I sort of add these in just to slightly adjust my foundations. But if you want to be able to take them from a lot fairer to a lot darker, these ones actually work a lot better. So I know that this video isn't groundbreaking at all, but if you are the kind of person that can go from very fair or to very tanned throughout the year, and you do find that you need different foundations, these sort of products might be really handy for you. I tend to often find that my foundations are generally too dark for me. So for me, the Lightening ones are great. If you're the opposite, you find that you've got too many light foundations, you might want to invest in these. And they do look very, very natural as long as you are sticking to a couple of shades within your shade range. There are, like I said, limitations that they don't have different undertones. And if you are lighter than this and darker than this, they won't work for you. But they are very affordable, and I have been very impressed with them. And then once again, if you don't have those products available to you, or you don't like the undertones of them, or whatever, you can often get, just use concealers. I like the squeezy tube concealers because you can control the amount that's coming out. And generally concealers, especially if you go a higher end brand, they will have much darker ones, much fairer ones with different undertones as well. So concealers are really handy to alter your foundation shade as well. All right, hopefully you found that moderately interesting. I will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.